Ice Cube has commented on the recent reopening of the investigation into Tupac's case, which has been ongoing for over 25 years. In a recent interview with Chris Cuomo on NewsNation, the former member of the rap group N.W.A. discussed his dissatisfaction with the fact that the police have not been able to identify those responsible for the passing of the legendary rapper despite the passage of so many years. Thus, keep watching this video to see how Ice Cube exposes Diddy after leaking evidence that connects him to Tupac's shooting. When asked about the latest searches conducted concerning the loss of the legendary figure, Ice Cube said, "It seems like it's 30 years too late, but I'm pretty sure we haven't heard the absolute truth about Tupac's death and what happened to him that night in Vegas. For his death to be somewhat unsolved as well as Biggie's is just a shame." In addition, bullets recently discovered at the residence of Dwayne Keefe D. Davis will be examined by forensic specialists to ascertain whether or not they are associated with the shooting death of Tupac Shakur.
Just like I said, when he said, "Bet you Keefe D getting locked up for Tupac murder?" And I said, he need to be right in handcuffs with me for Biggie murder, because I know he had his hands in that shit.
Also, the reopening of the inquiry into Tupac's case came as a surprise this month. Last week, while the Las Vegas police were serving a search warrant at the home of Keefe D's wife, Paula Clemens, in Henderson, Nevada, they reportedly found several .40 caliber rounds. Keefe D, a former member of the Southside Compton Crips, is the uncle of Orlando Anderson, who is believed to have been responsible for the death of Tupac in 1996.
Came to Vegas to attend the Mike Tyson fight at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. Members of the Southside Compton Crips, which included Dwayne Davis, along with his nephew Orlando Anderson.
However, Keefe D has acknowledged on more than one occasion having a part in the rapper's death. According to a source inside the Las Vegas Police Department, the rounds will be sent to forensic analysis to determine if they have any link to the bullets found in Tupac's body or on the scene of the homicide. Since 1996, homicide investigators have preserved the forensic evidence they collected from Tupac's shooting scene and corpse, including the bullets and clothes, in a safe location. In addition to this, they conducted a comprehensive scientific investigation of the shells, bullets, and powder found at the shooting site. Microfibers or residues from the weapon or the bullet could prove to be a link, the insider mentioned earlier. There is currently no information available on the importance of the bullets, their age, or their historical background, and it will take some time before it can be determined what role, if any, the bullets play in this instance. P. Diddy, a media mogul, has once again found himself embroiled in the complicated dispute surrounding the unsolved death of legendary artist Tupac Shakur. It was recently disclosed that officials in Nevada had searched a residence connected to Dwayne Keefe D. Davis added a fresh chapter to the drama that has been going on for almost 30 years. It has been speculated for a long time that Keefe's nephew Orlando Anderson was responsible for the rapper's death. Additionally, Keefe has said several times that he was an accomplice to the crime that was committed, as already mentioned. During the search warrant that was carried out a week ago, the police reportedly located and confiscated several rounds with a caliber of .40. But a few days later, Keefe gave an interview in which he discussed how he first met Diddy, who is widely believed to be the person who ordered the hit on Tupac, and how he laments the fact that he ever had to deal with him. The suspect stated, "If I had never met him, I wouldn't have ever been involved in this bullshit. I never would have had the chance to meet the brother. I would have never been engaged in anything as ridiculous as this." After that, he pinned a portion of the responsibility for his business breakdown and death row records on Diddy. In just one night, it brought down two different people's empires. It is without a doubt mine, and it is also Shug's. The only one who is still balling is Diddy. He brought our company to its knees, dude. In 2021, during his earlier appearance on the program, Keefe detailed every step of his nephew's death, who would pass just a few years later in a separate gang killing. "We have just arrived at the intersection with the traffic signal. They were turning right, and there were around 17 automobiles at the intersection. We just drove up in the gutter lane and saw their ass. And that first shot struck Big Boy, Suge Knight, in the head, and I thought he was dead." He continued saying, "Suge just ducked his head, and the first bullet went in his head, and the next one hit him, Tupac, and he was trying to do a break dance, trying to jump in the back seat or something like that. It seemed as if he was making an effort to get up, but bullets kept striking him." LAPD investigator Greg Carding, who handled the investigation back in 2006, concluded that Diddy arranged a $1 million hit on both Tupac and Knight, who were his competitors. He's making a mockery out of the justice system, and the public perception is that Tupac's murder case is of little interest to the LAPD, he added. They need to arrest Keefe D for the sake of history and for the sake of their own reputation. This would clear the murder case, and it would leave the weight of blame on the shoulders of the district attorney's office. It really is that easy, he added. Keefe D, the person suspected of shooting Tupac, made his first appearance in court concerning the Tupac murder case. Having been charged with 1 count of murder with the use of a dangerous weapon and a gang enhancement, Dwayne Davis appeared in front of a court on Wednesday. As we previously reported, Keefe was taken into custody shortly after a search warrant was executed at his wife's residence earlier this summer. During the operation, law enforcement officials entered their house in Henderson, Nevada, and gathered evidence. At this point, it is obvious that the police believe they have sufficient evidence to link him to the crime formally. Naturally, as far as the general public is concerned, a significant portion of the mystery over who shot Tupac has been answered for some time now, and a significant portion of that story has originated from Keefe's very own words. The individual has been giving interviews for several years, during which he has admitted to participating in the shooting. Keefe claims that his younger nephew, Orlando Anderson, was the one who pulled the shot on that fateful night in 1996. Also, it has been confirmed that Orlando has passed away, as have the other 2 males who were said to have been in the vehicle with them. It would seem that Keefe is the sole survivor of the automobile that was there that night. Despite the fact that the prosecution seems to admit that it is very probable that Keefe was not the one who fired the shot, they will argue that it is still appropriate under Nevada law to charge him with murder. Previously, Keefe D had been suspected of involvement in the murder of Tupac, a puzzle that, curiously enough, only started to come together during the inquiry into the death of Notorious Big. However, it seems that Keefe's numerous public pronouncements finally brought him to the attention of the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. Officials from the LAPD who were engaged in that incident have said that Keefe was offered a proffered deal to spill the beans and maybe escape punishment. Also, Suge Knight is the only surviving person with first-hand knowledge of the murder, and he has made it very obvious to us that he would not assist with prosecutors here. In the aftermath of the announcement, Tupac's family and those who knew Tupac in his earlier years, like Jada Pinkett Smith, have expressed astonishment, sadness, and relief. Tupac had barely reached age 25 when he was taken from us. And despite time, people are still interested in the case. Leave a comment below telling us what you think about the situation and we will respond. And that wraps things up. We appreciate you watching this video. Please hit the subscribe button and we'll see you in the next one.